It was a quiet spring evening in the suburbs. The golden sun dipped low, painting the sky in soft orange and violet. Inside a cozy home, the smell of fresh paraffas filled the kitchen. Lena, a beautiful 40-year-old woman, hummed gently as she set the table. Her long hair tied back, her simple curdy glowing in the warm light. She was elegant, the kind of woman whose maturity carried both softness and strength. Her husband, Imran, 42, sat nearby scrolling through his phone, occasionally smiling at messages. Their daughter, Sarah, only 17, teased her mother while helping with plates. For anyone looking in, it was perfect. A happy family, a calm evening, laughter echoing softly. But beneath this picture lay cracks invisible to the eye. Lena noticed the way Imran's smile changed when he looked at his phone, the way he turned the screen away when she glanced, the late nights, the whispers on calls. She wanted to believe in him, but her heart whispered otherwise. That night, while tidying up, she found a paper tucked in his drawer. Bank statements, withdrawals, strange transfers. Her money, her shop's savings draining away. And then, as if the universe wanted her to hear, Imran's voice drifted from the living room. Don't worry. She won't find out. The cup slipped from her hand, shattered. Her heart did the same. The days after felt like walking through broken glass. Lena tried to carry on, but each smile from Imran felt sharp, each hug false. He kissed her cheek one morning, whispering, "You're my everything." But his phone buzzed seconds later, and his eyes darted away. Suspicion turned into obsession. She stayed awake at night, waiting for him to sleep, scrolling through his messages, finding half-deleted chats, coded names, late-night transfers. And then the dagger, a picture of Imran with another woman, younger, laughing. Intimacy of the photo cut deeper than any blade. Lena's knees buckled. Her body shook. But when Imran returned home that night, she smiled faintly, served him food, and said nothing. Inside her silence was no longer weakness. It was fire. Imran, thinking his secret safe, turned sweeter. He brought Lena flowers, held her hand more often, whispered promises of a trip together. To an outsider, it looked like romance. To Lena, it was performance. One evening, as rain pattered against the windows, he pulled her close on the couch. His lips brushed her ear, his voice soft. "You know, Lena, I'd be nothing without you." For a brief second, her heart betrayed her. She almost believed him, almost let herself sink into the illusion. But then, as his arms wrapped around her, she saw the reflection of his phone screen in the mirror. A new message flashing, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow, love." Her body froze in his embrace. Her face rested on his shoulder, but her eyes filled with fury. She kissed his cheek gently, whispering, "Me too." But her heart whispered something else. "You will pay." Lena began her quiet hunt. By day, she was the loving wife, cooking meals, laughing faintly at his jokes. By night, she became a detective saving screenshots, recording calls, gathering proof. The deeper she dug, the darker it grew. Imran wasn't just betraying her with love, he was stealing from her shop, her employees, her future. Worse, his partner in crime was someone she once trusted, Admin, a family friend. Lena's chest tightened with every discovery. Betrayal wasn't just from her husband. It came from a man who once sat at their dining table as family. The world spun, but her resolve sharpened. If they had built a web of lies, she would tear it apart thread by thread. One night, Sarah overheard fragments of an argument. Lena had finally confronted Imran, voice shaking but firm. "How long will you lie to me? How long will you steal from me?" Imran's mask cracked. His anger erupted, slamming his fist on the table. "Everything I do is for us. You don't understand pressure, Lena. Without me, you'd be nothing." Sarah's wide eyes peeked from the hallway. Tears filled her as she ran back to her room. For Lena, the betrayal had crossed a line. It wasn't just money. It wasn't just infidelity. It was humiliation. That night, she stood in front of a mirror, tears running down her cheeks, whispering to her reflection, I gave you everything, but now I'll take back what's mine. Weeks later, a storm brewed not of rain, but of truth. At a community meeting, investors and relatives gathered. Lena stepped forward, her hands steady, her voice calm but sharp. She presented documents, recordings, transfers, every proof of Imran's betrayal. The room erupted. Gasps, whispers, eyes turned toward Imran. Imran stammered, his face pale. He looked at Sarah, at the daughter whose trust he had destroyed.